Hi folks, I've been asked recently by a few people, how do you shoot warbow style, how do you shoot heavy bows? And it's much easier to demonstrate than try and explain it. Although John Turton's, well, I always direct people towards John Turton's video on how to shoot a warbow. It's really good. But it got me thinking, and I want to say that I'm no expert heavy bow archer. There's far better heavy bow archers than me. This isn't a masterclass. This is just me, an ordinary archer, decided to go up the weights and how I did it. And I would highly recommend going up the weights £10 at a time, which I did. It's expensive if you're on your own, but I had some good mates and we all sort of climbed the weights together and shared bows, which was fantastic. Yeah, so most people come from target archery and field archery, and they use different type of grip and draw. So it's a T grip and drawing to the corner of the mouth, nose, whatever, somewhere there. The warbow is back as far as you can, to your ear, to the bottom of your jaw, sometimes to your chest. And the grip's different. It's what we call the dropped wrist grip. So you go from the T grip to that, like that. Very difficult for your wrist to collapse. That very easy. I've had a bow collapse when I was going up a 90-pound bow using that grip. Collapsed, dangerous. So when you look at medieval manuscripts and you see the archers in their poses, it looks like they're in a ballerina pose, but it's for a reason, because they're getting into the bow. You have to get into the bow. You have to arch your back, stick your bum out, you do the long draw, you do the drop wrist. And it looks quite flamboyant, but it allows the physicality of your body to get those heavy bows back. And everybody's physicality is different. So my body is Celtic stock, ancestors from Ireland, tip of Scotland right up north, Yorkshire, so ancient Brits, and some Scandinavian. So I'm short in the leg, long in the body, broad in the chest, which causes problems for me shooting long bows. So 80-inch long bows are a nightmare for me because of the angle of the string and the actual physical length. So we're all different. Some people are very tall and thin, can shoot incredible weights in bows, but they have that ability to have the bow within the area that they can move in. So we're all different. So what I thought I'd do is this experiment with bows, and I thought I'd try drawing different weights of bows back, starting at £60. All these bows have been made by me apart from two, and try and go up to as high weight as I can before I can't draw it with a T grip, the target archer's draw. I don't think it'll be very long, it'll be very quick, and then I can switch to the warbow style and show you how that bow can then be drawn a lot easier. So here we go. Okay, so these long bows, we're going to use long bows. These long bows, all of them bar two were made by me. The two that weren't made by me are a Laburnum 110 by Joe Gibbs. It's probably 105, 100 pound now. And then a beautiful bow as well by David Pym, 120 pounds, self yew, European yew. There's 1, 2, 3 wych elm. There's a laminate that Lee anchors. He glued the laminates up and I bludgeoned a bow out of it. That's the green one I've painted. So yeah, there's a variety of longbow's there. We'll see how we go with this. So we'll try the first one. I'm going to start with a 60 pound yew bow that I made recently. It's an English yew, very open grain. It's quite soft, so for its size it's quite a beefy bow, but it's only £60. We'll start with that one. We'll see how we go. Okay, important thing with shooting heavier bows, any bow really, but particularly heavy bows, is to warm up. So I use a band, not sure what weight it is, but you can up the weight by just twisting it together. Very important that. So £60 English yew. I've not even shot an arrow yet this morning, so completely cold. So T-grip, bring the bow up and just come back with my arm. Yep, that's £60. £70 Self witch elm. These arrows are a bit big to be honest, but a bit heavy. But, go again. T-grip. Yep, that's £70. Okay, this is a Self bow and again witch elm, and this is £80. So T-grip. Yeah, getting harder. Another witch elm. This was the second bow I made. This was £100, about 90 now. T-grip. Yep, that's okay. Okay, so Joe Gibbs Laburnum, which is, I'd say about 100 now, 105. Was 110. So T-grip. Can't do it. Can't do it. So this is where I can demonstrate the warbow stance. Okay, so I could draw this bow back using the standard target archer, field archer technique of T-grip, drawing with a straight arm back here. So the warbow style is we go from the T-grip to the drop wrist. The stance changes. I put my left foot forward, and my left shoulder is pointing over there at about 30 degrees from the target. This is what it is for me, different for others. I arch my back, and then you do the draw. You do the high draw, and you lock. You lock out. You hold for a second, 2 seconds, and you loose. Now, I know a lot of people know, and I've bored a lot of people, but I've had seriously bad target panic for 3 years, and my loose was terrible. I was drawing and loosing way too early because my brain rewired itself. It decided it could skip certain steps to the loose. This is kind of a neurological fact. So I've spent the last year, because I had a complete, it broke me. I was going to give up. This time last year I was definitely giving up any form of archery. It broke me. But it took me a year to be able to get to draw, lock, weight, loose. And that feeling of overcoming, of beating my brain, my mind, that decided to do what it wanted, is kind of more euphoric than being able to shoot heavy bows. It's an amazing feeling to have taken 3 years of battling. Every arrow was a battle. Really, every arrow was a battle. And now I'm enjoying it again. So I'm happy to pass on what I've learnt and how I've learnt it. So that was a 105 pound bow. This is definitely 105 pounds, 30. Laminate bow, glued up by Lee anchors and made by me. I did forget to say that obviously age comes into it. I'm now 61. I wish I'd have started heavy bows when I was younger, but it wasn't to be. I know my time's limited doing this, etc, etc. So if I can do it, certainly the younger men can do it. So this is 105 at 30. So I'll T-grip it, T-draw, oh, not a prayer. So warbow, drop wrist, change your stance, lock, loose. Okay, so now I'm on my limit. I'm maxed out at 110, 150, 120 with a long bow. I can't shoot it properly, but I'm maxed out. With a flat bow, I'm maxed out at 110. So this is a David pin bow, European U, beautiful bow. Was 125, it's now 120. So I know I can't T-draw this, but we'll do it anyway. So that's your lot. So now we're in the realms of fantasy for me. 120. So warbow stance, drop wrist. Lock and loose. So that's my limit. I'm going to work on that until I'm a bit more fluid, I'm a bit more confident. I couldn't shoot out that bow all day. I could probably shoot 3 arrows and I'm exhausted. So it's knowing your limit, it's shooting bows that are comfortable. So with a long bow I'm comfortable about 105, 110, which is great. It's an achievement. So I hope this has been of a help to you, and explain possibly why you can't shoot heavy bows as using the traditional, well, the modern target archery style. Medieval archers knew how to shoot heavy bows and they adopted that style. Yeah, any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and if I can help anybody I will. As I said, I'm not an expert. This isn't a masterclass. It's just showing you my journey, or part of my journey. So yeah, take care, have a good day. I would like to say just one more thing that came to me afterwards, that I know a lot of people who are shooting target and a field are shooting sort of 30, 35, 40, 45 pound bows, and I fully understand that for those people to go to 50 or a 60 pound bow, they're going to struggle to tea draw it. I know I got up to about 90 pound tea drawing, but that's because I've built myself up, so I'm a lot stronger. So you would have to, even at sort of 45 for some people, you'd have to adopt the warbow stance. But what you have to remember is your arrows need to be longer. If you're drawing here to 26, 27, you're coming back here, you're going to need probably 30-inch arrows. So it's not just about, and the bow of course is going to have to be tillered to 30 or whatever your length is. To find out your length for warbow shooting, probably if you can get a bow of the weight you want, till it to 30, 32, 34 even, whatever, and then get an arrow that's probably 38 inches long and draw it back until you can lock out, and then mark the arrow where it reaches the outer, the actual back of the bow, so you'll know your arrow length. It can be dangerous if if you're drawing back warbow style with a short arrow. Obviously you can overdraw, and if you're drawing warbow style with a bow that's not tilled to that arrow length, or the new length of yours, you can break the bow. So that word of caution there, you need a bow that's tilled and an arrow that's long enough. So yeah, I know I drew to 90 pounds, but that's because it's not just a physical strength. You have to build up the tendons and the bones. Where the tendons meet the bones, it changes, the physicality changes, becomes stronger. And we know this from the skeletons of archers from the past, where the ligaments from the muscles join the bones are bigger and stronger. So it's a gradual thing. As I said, it's taken me probably, I don't know, 6 years, 5-6 years to get from sort of a 50 pound bow to 120. And there's been ups and downs, there's been all sorts of things. My health hasn't been brilliant, so that's knocked me back. COVID knocked me back. So yeah, it's a gradual thing, and it's a bit of a cliche, but it's about the journey, and it's about the people that you go on that journey with. So yeah, I hope you get to where you want to be. See you on the line. Okay, just a little footnote here about shooting warbow style. I explained the grip, the arch back, stick your bum out, and the high draw. But that high draw is all about bringing your shoulders into play. Your shoulders will pull your arms apart. So as well as having your arms pulling and pushing, your shoulders are doing most of the work. So it's like that. Someone once described it as trying to crack a walnut between your shoulder blades. So yeah, just wanted to add that. It is all about the shoulders and arching your back and getting the full physicality into drawing that bow back, not just your arms as in a modern target style. So yeah,